Hi guys, Lee here from Trading College. On this video, we're going to take a look at a question that I often get asked from students, especially when we're doing our Learn to Trade Live online beginners course, is what is the best market to trade out there? And so we're going to take a look at the ranges of several different asset classes and show you sort of how many points these markets move per day. Now it does go a lot deeper. We could spend hours talking about the right market for you because everybody's got different personality types. Everyone likes different sort of risk parameters. So it's really something that where we've got to sit down and talk through it with you. But let's take a little look at the pound versus the Japanese yen to start with on the daily chart. Now what I've got down here is the average true range indicator. You just go to one of your indicator sections here, click on that, find average true range, and basically what it's doing, it's giving you the average price movement over a 14-day period or over a period of time depending on the time frame. So it's looking back 14 bars, and you can see here it's giving us a number on the right hand side. It says 102.28. So the pound Japanese yen on average moves 102 pips per day at the moment. So let's say you wanted to make 20 pips per day as a trader. Well, you've got 102 pips to play with, and I think there's a great opportunity for you to make 20 pips if you've got 102 pips. Now what happens here is a lot of people get a little bit nervous trading things that have got 102 pips or 300 pips maybe range a day because they think it's too volatile. Well, I think about it a different way, especially if you're day trading. Now if a day trader is trading something like, let me just show you, let's go down to, I don't know, Aviva, which is a FTSE share. And you can see here 7 points per day it moves. Now if we're doing this in a spread betting account, you'll be doing it with pounds per point. And let's say you do £10 per point in this market, in this stock. You've only got 7, and you're day trading it. You've only got 7 points to play with. And if you're after 10 points a day, well, you're not really going to get it because it only moves 7 points per day within that range. Okay, so you can see the average true range on this has been decreasing. Okay, so think about I personally, if I'm looking, in fact we'll talk about it in a second, what markets I tend to trade in certain time frames. Let's take a little look at euro dollar, which is the most popular currency pair out there. Let's look at the average true range. Well, it's actually traded at 50 pips per day. If you're looking for 20 pips profit in this per day, or if you're looking for 60 pips profit, it's going to be pretty tough because you're not going to get that amount of movement during the day. Okay. Of course, people are going to say, well, instead of doing £10, why don't I do £100 per point? It only has to move 2 points. That's fine as long as you're managing the risk and you've got a good record of good risk reward there. Then that is fine. But in general, it moves 50 points per day. And as a day trader, that's difficult to try and make 20 points. Now, if we go down to Burberry, which is another FTSE company, you can see here 56 points per day. It's getting better now, isn't it? This has a decent range per day. And as a swing trader, I've got a few of my drawing tools still on here. As a swing trader, I want to make lots of money, don't you? I don't want to make little money. I want to make lots of money. And so something like Burberry would be a really nice FTSE trade share to trade because it has nice ranges and it has nice opportunities on a weekly basis. And then we start getting into things like gold, and the pricing on gold gets a little bit different. It moves 17 points per day. You can see here gold has decreased its average true range here. It was 26 points per day. Now it's dropping down to 17. Now we are going sideways. We've got a triangle formation type here, and we're going to break down or we're going to break up. Now if we break down on gold, and we're going off topic slightly, we'll see the average true range increase normally because when the market's full, volatility kicks in and price ranges increase. As we go up, price ranges decrease, okay, and you get that little spike there as the market comes down. That's in general. That's just in general, and you're going to get times when that's not going to happen. And then you start to go to some of the minors and other currency pairs that are a little bit off the radar from the majors, and you see 55 pips New Zealand CAD. That's nothing, is it? It's just in the euro dollar camp there. And you go to the German DAX here. Now this is where I like to trade. I like to trade in the German DAX. 181 points per day. A shot up since yesterday's down move. It was originally trading at 160. Perfect. You know, if I want to make 50 points per day, and I do that at £10 a point in a spread betting account, you know, I've got a great chance every day to make my day's money of £500 per day. If you can make £500 per day, you know, you can just do this for the rest of your life and you can make a living doing this. I'm not saying you can do it or you're going to do it. You're probably miles away from doing this. But, you know, I'm just giving you, you know, I want the ranges to be high. I want the ranges to be wide. I don't want to start coming into summer trading when we get down to, you know, 50 points per day. So German DAX is a real nice one. Then we get into crude oil. Crude's great as well because crude is a fabulous market to trade. And I remember trading oil up to $147 a barrel many years ago, and it was just an incredible market to trade, and it still is. It's clean. It's priced at $66.28. It feels like it, you know, has good moves on a regular basis. It's trading at 193 points per day on average. Even if it starts to drop down, it's 140. So crude oil is a very nice market to trade. And I think if you're going to be doing things like FTSE shares, you're going to be wanting, I think, to do those over a week or swing trade those possibly over several weeks. And that's what I do. So I will fit the volatility to the trading I'm doing. So what I mean by that is that if I'm doing the FTSE shares in a SIP or an ISA, then I'm going to be trading it from a weekly chart. And I'll trade everything from a weekly chart, but especially the FTSE shares, you know, the London Stock Exchange shares, the Carnivals, the Burberrys, the British Land and BP and, you know, and so on, and Experian, EasyJet, and so all those shares. I'll be looking at those from a weekly. I don't tend to day trade those at all because, you know, the market doesn't move because the average true range is not as great as I'd like it to be. But there are some that will give you decent ranges. But really, I want to be looking at things like also the, you know, as I go back to the Japanese yen and the CAD yen, and let's have a look at the CAD yen. You know, it's up at 70 points a day, which is better than the euro dollar. But then you've got to take into consideration that the spreads are a little bit wider on those markets, okay, which is fine because if the spread is wider and you don't want to go too wide as a day trader, you know, as long as it has the ranges to make up that spread. And then if you go into the likes of Bitcoin like this is Bitcoin daily funded bet, you know, we're down at what, 1,780 points per day on average price movement. You see a lovely pro trend system short here. So it really is how you like to trade. If you enjoy the movements as a day trader, the big volatile movements, it's US stocks, it's FX pairs, it's commodities. If you're day trading, you know, really do you want to be trading London Stock Exchange, FTSE shares? Not really. You know, you might get impatient with those. There's plenty of opportunities in the indices in the German DAX. And I hope it helps, guys. Speak to you soon. Take care.